Microphone on button.
Hello, welcome to C.O.T.K. Bible Study Summer Seminar, the Book of Revelation. I am the teacher and the pastor of Children of the King Ministries, Elder Cecil David Moore Jr., and I'd like to welcome you to our Bible study today. We are dealing with the Book of Revelation, as we've been doing all the month of July and now the month of August. We're on chapter 11, part 3. We've been into this and we've been talking about the two witnesses, the two olive trees, the two candlesticks that are by the throne, and that God is sending down to earth. So let's get into this. Last time we met, I was reading to you. We were dealing with saying that if anybody hurt these two witnesses, fire was going to proceed out of their mouth. And we went on and we told a story from the book of Zechariah about the prophet Elijah and certain things that happened to King Ahab. And it's one of the examples of what, well, I'll get into it. I'm getting ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself and I don't want to. So we're talking about the prophecy of the two witnesses. So let's go back and let's recap Revelation chapter 11, verse 5. And if any man will hurt them, talking about the two witnesses, fire proceeded out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. So if anybody hurt them, they were going to be killed by the fire that proceeded out of their mouth. Okay? Now let's look at Numbers chapter 16. We want to look at verses 16 through 35. All right? And when we finish this, we'll probably be through for the day. All right? I want you to pay attention to what we're doing. Remember, we just got through talking about Elijah. Now we're about to talk about somebody different. If you know the Bible, you know we go into Numbers. We're talking about who? Moses. All right. Anyway, Numbers chapter 16, verse 16. And Moses said unto Korah, Behold, be thou and all thy company, your associates, before the Lord, thou and they, and Aaron tomorrow. All right? So that was a big thing going on, and these certain priests were trying to take over and tell the people that they didn't need to listen to Moses anymore, and that they were all priests, and, you know, it's time for some new leadership. So here we go. So Moses went to the Lord, and the Lord told him what to do. And so now Moses is saying, all right, all of y'all come together before you and your associates come together before the Lord tomorrow, and Aaron. So he's talking basically to the priest. All right. Verse 17. And take every man his censer. So we know that these are all priests, because that's who dealt with the censers and going into the tabernacle of the congregation. All right. And put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer. So all of you are supposed to bring your censer, and here's the number: 250 censers. Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. So it's 250 censers and Aaron bringing their censers before the Lord. All right. And these censers were usually used to have the incense to burn and have the sweet smelling savor for the sacrifice to go before the Lord. So right now they think everything is cool. Everything is copacetic. We going to be all right. Okay. We're going to do this thing. Ain't nothing bad. Maybe he's about to turn over his leadership to us. That's why we're bringing this in. We're going to present it to the Lord and everything going to be all right. Okay. So verse 18, and they took every man his censer and put fire there and put fire in them and laid incense thereon and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. So far, everything is going all right. They did exactly what they were told to do. They're bringing these censers and with the incense, and they're going before the congregation of the tabernacle, which eventually ended up to be the temple. But in the wilderness, this is where the Lord they had the curtain, and the Lord was in the Holy of Holies. So they were bringing everything to the presence of the Lord, to where the Lord was, okay? Verse 19, and Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So Korah was this leader, and he gathered all of them, and they were going to be against. They were all against the tabernacle, which means they were laying against it. It didn't mean they were in opposition, but they were in opposition of Moses and Aaron. All right, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. The glory of the Lord, the Shekinah glory of the Lord appeared to everybody. So everybody saw, the whole congregation, all million or however many people this was, all right? I don't know the number of the people that were in the wilderness, but I know that it was people, and it was well over 100,000, okay? And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron, saying, verse 21, separate yourselves from among the congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. This was something that was real harsh. God said, hey, Aaron and Moses, I approve of you two. Separate yourself from the congregation. Separate yourself from all of these people that are gathered together at the tabernacle of the congregation. Separate yourself from them so that I will consume them. God was going to kill every last one of them for the revolt, for the rebellion that was going on in this situation. Do you understand what's going on? See, God, people say, well, God's always been favorable to you. No, and that day he was ready to destroy all of them. They were listening to Korah and his mess trying to take over Moses, whom God had ordained to bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. Korah didn't do it. Korah didn't bring them together. Korah didn't raise his staff and the waters were open where they could cross the Red Sea on dry ground. Korah didn't have anything to do with any of that. All right? It was Moses, by the authority and the ordaining of God, that brought them through, okay? And was bringing them into this wilderness now. Verse 22. And they fell upon their faces. Who fell upon their faces? Moses and Aaron. They fell prostrate on their faces to worship and to pray to God, to inquire of God something special. Pay close attention to what they did. All right? They fell on their faces and said, "O God, the God of the spirit of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will thou be wroth or be angry with all the congregation?" Lord, you're going to be upset with everybody because of one man's sin? One man, Korah, and all that wanted to follow him. Lord, you're going to kill all of them because of this one man's sin? All right. Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about Dathan and Abiram. In other words, these three men are making a rule. If you want to, he didn't say if you want to live. He said, get up from them. Tell the people to get up from Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, from their tabernacle, their tent. Get away from them. All right? Verse 25. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. All right? So all the spiritual leaders were following right behind Moses. All right? And Aaron. Verse 26. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tent of these wicked men. Get away from the tent of these wicked men. Tabernacle was a tent, all right? And touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. Don't touch nothing of theirs. Nothing that belongs to them. Don't touch their tent. Don't touch their children. Don't touch anything that belongs to these men. Who? Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Get away from them. Don't touch anything that belongs to them. All right? Verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents. All right, so Dathan and Abiram came out. The Korah didn't come out. All right. And their wives and their sons and their little children, their whole families came out, okay? Verse 28, and Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. Moses said, what's about to happen and everything that's happened so far, the Lord did. He led me. None of these things were done on my mind. There's nothing that I thought of. All the things that have happened and the things that are about to happen. None of this is coming out of my mind. All right. Verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. In other words, if something happened to them out of the normal, they die natural death, they get afflicted with a regular disease, then it's about the Lord. The Lord is not with me. The Lord didn't tell me to do what I'm doing. I'm moving on my behalf. I'm moving on my behalf, on my own authority. Okay, verse 30. But better understand this: if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, that everything that belongs to them, all right? And they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that if the Lord opens up the mouth of the earth and swallow them up, and everything that's got anything to do with them, then you people, the congregation, will understand that it's the Lord, that they provoked the Lord to this. All right? They angered the Lord, and this is how he will show his retribution. All right? Verse 31. And it came to pass. Oh, that is a familiar phrase in the Bible. It came to pass. When it come to pass, something happens. All right? So it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words. Okay, when Moses was through speaking, he said what he had to say, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. All right? In other words, there was a shake, and the ground opened up. All right? Verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. Everything that belonged to these people that listened to Korah, they had anything to do with Korah, Dathan and Abiram. Their families, their associates.
6:38 p.m.
The earth swallowed up all of them. All right? Everything that they had. There was going to be nothing left. Verse 33. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit. They went down alive. All that the earth swallowed up went down alive. And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. They were no more. The earth opened up, swallowed them, and closed his mouth. All right? Verse 34. And all Israel that were round about them fled, buffered. And all Israel, I read that again, verse 34. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. They heard them crying and they ran in panic away. They make sure that God had already told them to get away from them. They made sure they ran, they kept running and getting far away from them as they possibly could. Why? For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. Hey, he swallowed them. He could come and get all of us. Hey, let's get away. Let's go. Let's go. Get away from them. Get away. Or else the earth gonna swallow all of us up. All right. Verse 35. And there came down a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. All of those people that offered incense, after they'd already swallowed up everything that had to do with Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, all their associates, now it's taking care of these priests and their incense. The 250, the fire came down and devoured all of them. Do you see what the Lord has done? This was the first recorded earthquake in the history of the world. And it had a purpose: to devour. The earth opened up her mouth and swallowed all these evildoers to show that the Lord had Moses as the ordained person to lead the children of Israel. So through the mouth of Moses, he did these things. So now we've got two examples of who could possibly be the two olive trees, the two candlesticks. Elijah, the Tishbite prophet of God, and Moses, who was a Levite. Both were Jews. Where are you going with this? Tune in tomorrow and see how far we press this issue. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you got something out of it. And you just see the marvelous work that the Lord does. The Lord has an angry side, and he'll deal with people in his wrath. These were light things of wrath. This is not talking about the lake of fire that's to come. These were a lot of people that died, but this was nothing to be compared with the end in the lake of fire. So when people say that God can't destroy, God can do whatever God wants to do because he's just that powerful. He made it, he can destroy it. All right? If you make something, if you decide you don't want it no more, you had that option because you made it, you can destroy it. All right? Same way with God. He can preserve what he wants to. He can destroy what he wants to. All right? I will see you on tomorrow. God bless you, and tell others about our adventures in the book of Revelation, our COTK Bible Study Summer Seminar. I love you. God bless. See you tomorrow.
Finish.